Formula 1 is a joke, and I'm gonna prove it to you with this Porsche Cup race. Straight into the action. We're starting at the back of the grid and we're trying to make our way to the top. Now, Spa Turn 1 is famously one of the most chaotic corners that exists, so we're looking pretty optimistic here for making up some positions as long as we don't get collected. This black Porsche is gonna brake so hard in front of us. We almost collected him, but we just about managed to get through here and get through here cleanly. As two cars collide in front of us, we make our way through and we're all the way up into, let's see what position we're gonna shake up into after all that chaos. P21 from P25. Now, going up El Rouge is very difficult in these Porsche Cups. As you can see, the car in front of me struggling with it, so I'm going to get a better run than him up to El Rouge. And I know that a lot of people are going to be getting slowdowns here, and they're probably going to be trying to serve them on the right side of the track to keep that inside and to slow everyone down along with them as they serve their slowdowns. We're not going to catch to anyone, but we're going to send it on this car on the inside as three cars battle in front of us for their position. We are side by side all the way through Lake Como and all the way into the right-hander and through it as we look for a better exit in the car. We just barely get it, and we're alongside going into Ravage. We're going to absolutely send it on the inside. As we try to defend our position on the inside, we're going to collect the other car, and in the gap that we've made in the corner, Dennis is going to show up into this race. Now, Dennis is going to be one of the most crucial characters of this race, if not one of the most crucials, but we don't have time to explain that as an absolutely massive incident happens ahead of us. We have to pick our way through the field side by side with this red car, side by side with the blue car going through Puan, and we're making our way through. We just don't get the run on the blue car, but we made it all the way up to what position? P14, people. From P25 on the grid, P14, and we're barely halfway through lap 1. Now, we're going to swap perspectives here as we're looking at Dennis right behind us. He's in a tight battle with the red car ahead. The red car's stuck on the outside here, but he has the inside for the next corner. Dennis backs out brilliantly. The red car goes too deep, and a beautiful switchback is performed. Dennis acquires the position and ends up behind us. Now, we do still have our own race to worry about, and it's going wrong as we get a horrible exit onto the back straight, and the blue car is going to get a much better run than us, still getting pulled along by the toe of the cars ahead of us. We do not have an advantage on him just because we're in the toe. Now, we're trying to get Blanchimont right, which is incredibly difficult in this Porsche Cup. Almost going off the track, but just barely keeping it in. And so we're going to try and look for the move. We're going to send it all the way down the inside. We're 3 wide as Dennis looks for the opportunity to try and get the blue car on the outside, but it doesn't work out for him. And we're still side by side going through as the car ahead gets bumped by the other car. Now we're placed into a rather awkward position as we're almost 3 wide into turn 1, but actually I'm going to get the better run and I'm going to send it all the way onto the blue car in front of me as the car behind runs into me and then runs into Dennis. Now, due to all those bumps, I'm going to get a much better exit onto the main straight here. The blue car didn't have to fight anyone though, so he gets an even better exit. We're just going to all have to tuck into each other's slipstream. Coming into a Rouge and Radion here, our tires are still kind of cold. You have to remember, this is still lap 1 despite everything that's happened. Or sorry, this is lap 2 now, and we just finished with lap 1, and we're in a great position from P11. From P25 to P11 is unbelievable, but Dennis is going to get much different ideas for this race. He's going to be looking for the move here, making it almost 3 wide. The black car's blinking out of reality, and me and Dennis are going to come into contact as we go side by side. He just punts us out of the way, no regard, and we're going to have to slot behind Dennis now. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be thrilled about the way Dennis handled that, but there's nothing we can do quite yet as we follow him into Ravage, and we're just going to try to tuck into his window of pace. Now, I know that the blue car is a lot slower than Dennis, so we're eventually going to get an opportunity when he has to make a move on them. Jumping a couple corners ahead now to lap 3, and the situation has not changed much. Dennis and the blue car neck and neck as we approach our Rouge and Radion for the 4th time this race, but everything is going to change soon. The blue car is going to make a big mistake and go too far over Radion, and another car is going to go absolutely flying next to the circuit and almost collecting all of us. The blue car has acquired a slowdown because he went too far over Radion. We're going to get that position. All the chaos that's transpired has slowed down Dennis significantly as he moves to cover the inside, but we're not going to go for a move. We're just going to try to conserve our pace as we end up right next to Dennis after all that madness. We're finally going to get a moment to breathe and just settle into this race. We've made it all the way up to P10 from P25 at the back of the grid. And one of the most important things is in Porsche Cup is finding a moment to just slow down and settle into the race because these cars have very sensitive tires. The tires can overheat very easily and it can ruin your entire race as you just slowly build up wear and tear on these tires that's going to offset you compared to the competition. So we really need to be careful of that. These cars are made for being smooth. However, even more chaos is going to transpire as a car completely loses it in Puan, giving us a free position. That crash has given us P9, solidifying our position in the top 10, but Dennis has somehow managed to run away from us again in this corner complex, so we're going to have to catch up to him before we can make our next move. Now we're jumping ahead to the beginning of lap 4, and Dennis is going to go way too deep into turn 1, ruining his exit while we get a strong exit, really opening up an opportunity for us here onto the long straight, onto the long complex of Rouge and Radion. Now, he's actually going to mess up his Rouge. He's going to scrub way too much speed off of his tires. And so we're going to get an incredible run on him down the Kemmel. The run is so good that he knows that he can't defend it. He's going to pull over all the way to the outside. He's just going to open the inside up for us. We're going to get the side draft, and we're going to get this move done very cleanly. And the roles are now reversed again. Dennis has to catch us. And as he does get a much better line through Les Combs, he's actually going to put pressure on us going into the right-hander or going into Ravage. You can see our cars are kind of taking opposing lines. He's just trying to tuck in if there's an opening, but I keep it clean. He's especially going to take a very fast entry into Ravage while smacking the back of us. But unfortunately, it's going to go wrong for him through No Name. He just isn't as good as us through this corner. He's going way too wide, and we're going to open up that gap nicely. With his mistake through No Name, I have another opportunity to just relax and settle the tires into the race. I mean, I can't stress this enough. Porsche Cup is so stressful because every moment you're battling with other people or running away or being thrown off your line is a moment you're using up the very limited window of these tires, man. They're so sensitive. You have to drive it so smoothly. So every moment that you can put pressure on someone else is a moment that you can put pressure on their tires, and you can just disrupt the race overall. And every moment that you can run away from people is a moment that you can conserve your tires and give yourselves more tools as the race goes on. At the beginning of lap 5 here, I'm going to absolutely cook my run through Rouge. I'm just going to completely scrub the speed off the tires just like Dennis did last lap. And just like last lap, the roles are reversed now. Dennis is going to have a run on me coming down the Kemmel. However, Dennis is going to have a much bigger gap to overcome, so we're actually going to get the opportunity to defend from him. Dennis has the overspeed. I have the inside. I'm better on the brakes. He's not Sebastian Vettel. I'm going to defend into Les Combs. He might be able to get a run on me to the next section of corners, but I make my car as wide as possible, and he can't do anything. However, Dennis does have the overspeed coming out of the right-hander into Ravage, but he just can't get enough of it. I'm going to defend the inside, and that's his overtaking opportunities for this lap done. Jumping over immediately to lap 6, and we have not lost Dennis. You're a fool if you think Dennis is gonna let go of this race that easy. I completely fucked my exit out of the first turn, as you saw through that oversteer, and Dennis is sticking to us. He has the slipstream and he has the overspeed coming into a Rouge and Radion, which is really, really bad for me going on to the Kemmel. I know that if Dennis doesn't mess up a Rouge here, which he doesn't, he's going to have that overspeed on me, and there's nothing I can do. The roles have reversed finally from lap 4. I'm the victim and Dennis is the aggressor. He's going to look towards the inside as he prepares for his move. I have to defend from the outside. I'm keeping it clean, but Dennis understeers wide into me. He hits me, and I have to go wide and rejoin the circuit. Dennis knows that he can't do anything about that. I'm not even going to get a slowdown because of how much we both lost time from that impact. Emotions are getting high. Tensions are getting high between me and Dennis. We're going elbows out because we've been battling for half the race, and we know we still have half the race left. If neither of us can get past the other cleanly and take away, we're going to be battling for the whole race at this race, which is bad for both of us. Jumping ahead to the end of this lap at the bus stop, Dennis is going to get a far better exit to me. He positioned his car to get a late apex than usual just to get a better run than me down the straight. I'm going to realize this. I'm going to jump to the inside to defend. Dennis is going to try to do it around the outside, but he's worse on the brakes again. He has to go extremely wide. But actually going extremely wide here is going to put him closer into my slipstream later into this lap. So I know that I have to get this El Rouge perfectly right. Otherwise, his slipstream might just get him right next to me and fuck up both of our races. I absolutely destroy El Rouge. I go flying. I lose all of my speed. That is the worst possible exit you can get out of Radion. And so Dennis is going to go over the grass to try and pass me, and he does get the move done. And now I have to defend from the yellow car behind me as Dennis has flown past. He's so late on the brakes that he slows both of us down, which is actually good for me. It slows the yellow car down. And Jesus Christ, that was the worst series of events that could have happened to me. Well, we could have crashed, but that's the worst series of events that could have happened that doesn't kill both of us. And wouldn't you believe it, as we jump over to lap 8, I'm going to go up a Rouge. Dennis is going to scrub all his speed off at Radion, and we're going to have the run again. Pass, repass, pass, repass. This is real tight racing, and you don't need bullshit batteries to make it happen. All you need is good cars and equal drivers. I'm just gonna get more speed than Dennis, and we're going to get the move done easy peasy. I'm gonna tighten up less combs. I'm gonna get a beautiful run through the section of corners, and we're gonna solidify the position once again. It's lap 9, and it all happens again. I'm ahead. I take the inside. Dennis is going on the outside, but a new character has joined the session. The yellow car behind Dennis. Dennis now has to fight a war on multiple fronts. He has to hold off the yellow car from behind, and he has to try and pass me. So he's taking these weird lines, kind of offset, trying to defend from both the yellow car, as the yellow car is threatening to make it 3 wide, but backs out of it from Ravage. Dennis almost bumps into the back of me. He got scared by the yellow car. He got spooked, and understandably so. We have a 3-way fight here for P8. It's lap 10, and the tensions are higher than ever. Dennis has the overspeed on me once again, and he's going to go side by side with me down the Camel. I know that if I don't get this position saved here, I'm going to be in deep trouble because this is the penultimate lap. I try my best, but I just can't send it down the inside. I have no room. Dennis is going to park it on the exit, and I have nowhere to go. The yellow car is right with me, and I'm in deep trouble. It's the penultimate lap, people. We need to get something done quick because there's only a lap and a half left of racing, and we're about to see the P8 be lost. Dennis has widened the gap as we get closer to the bus stop, and I know that I have to get this corner perfect because it's going to determine possibly the outcome of this entire race. I go way too far over the curb. I don't get a beautiful exit, and Dennis is widening the gap even further. This is an enormous gap to have to overcome. We're not as close as we'd like to be coming into the final lap of the race, and the slipstream is almost nowhere to be found. Dennis has 5/10 on us, but he absolutely cooks the first turn. He goes wide. The lights were too bright for him, and suddenly we're back into the slipstream again. The yellow car behind is not even close, so we don't have to worry about that. Dennis is pulling us across all the way through El Rouge and Radion, and he has to get these right if he wants to race, but he takes way too much curb. Both of El Rouge and Radion. He's absolutely destroyed his run, and we're finally getting back on him. Ending up behind Dennis for this final lap is turning out to be a big advantage, and he knows that. It's desperate. He's defending as hard as he can. We're side by side. We're so close. I'm worried that he's gonna bump me again, but Dennis keeps it clean. We're side by side still, but I finally managed to shake him. I take the inside as far as I can, and Dennis has the better exit. I have to take the inside for Ravage as well. I'm trying to break the slipstream in the meanwhile. Dennis can't manage to get past. I'm holding the inside for Ravage. He's going to not get a great run through it, but he has a great exit. I have to cover him off into No Name as well. This final lap battle is not ending anytime soon. Dennis was historically bad at No Name this race, but he's turned it up a notch for the final lap. He's stuck to me. He's almost looking for the opportunity into Puan, but he doesn't quite find it. And thank God, because if we went side by side to Puan, that would have probably ended our races. Holy shit, Dennis is not relenting at all, and I know that I have to lock in and get these corners perfect and eke out the gap. Dennis isn't going to get an overtaking opportunity in any of the next couple of corners, but the most important thing here is to get the pace up and make a bit of a gap, because it doesn't matter if Dennis doesn't overtake me here. If he's glued to my rear coming onto the big straight, I'm going to lose this race. He's going to get the slipstream into the bus stop, and I'm going to die. Okay, I'm exaggerating. I'm probably not going to die, but either way, you don't want the Porsche Cup side by side, especially not into something like Blanchimont, but I've managed to eke out so much of a gap to Dennis. He has way too much to overcome. He knows that, so he's going to be starting to get desperate, and I know that in the back of my mind. I need to get Blanchimont right, and I do, but I don't even take enough of the curb. Dennis takes everything. He even gets an off track, and so he gets a better run. He's desperate. He's going to try it. He's going to try along the outside, but he's not close enough. He's close, though. He's going to try on the outside again, and he's not going to get it. Have we managed to get the run? No, we haven't. Dennis has a better run than us. It's going to go right down to the line. Who's going to take it? Who's going to win? It's all down to this, but I get it. I somehow managed to get it. What an unbelievable race. Dennis spinning, not spinning, going side to side, and that's it. We're P8 after all that work.